Work hard for what you want in life.
You work hard for what you want in life.
That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say.
That you treat people with dignity and respect.
That you treat people with respect.
Reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard.
The strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Work hard.
Work hard.
Work hard.
Work hard.
Work hard. Work hard. Work hard. Work hard.
Hey guys, I'm Tatum.
And it's your girl, Milan.
And welcome to the Black Girl Boss Podcast, Episode 3.
Woo woo, Episode 3. Hey. I can't believe that we're actually here, guys. So we have a special guest today, and she's a close personal friend of mine. She goes by Miss Tula Alfredo, but I know her as Lauren Poindexter. Say hey, Lauren.
Hey, y'all.
So, guys, Lauren is a 25-year-old entrepreneur and a multi-talented journalist who has worked and networked with the White House Press Pool, Sirius XM, WTOP, actor... my boo, Michael B. Jordan.
She's not his type, y'all. He like white women. He don't want Milan.
Ooh, embarrassing. Celebrity stylist Derek Warburton, actor Lance Gross. Yes. Yeah, we need a yes for him. NFL players, radio personalities such as Sunny and the City, and much, much more. But that's just some brief accolades of hers that I'll deliver today. She is a Maryland native who received her Bachelor's of Science degree in broadcast journalism from the Bowie State University in May of 2013, and she was a spring graduate. So let me put that out there because we know we have 2 graduations. With plans to pursue a career in entertainment and broadcasting, which she has. And shortly after graduating, she created Tula Talks Entertainment, which is flourishing wonderfully today. So we are super excited to have Miss Tula Alfredo on the show today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
So before we get into, your history and everything, I thought it would be appropriate that since you're in the media field and you want to talk about everything positive as it relates to media, I think we should talk about some media stuff, okay? So first I want to talk about Hidden Figures. Have you seen it?
Yes.
So what you think?
Let me tell you, I love that movie. I'm waiting for it to come out on DVD because... for one, it's just so inspirational. I mean, I feel like not only does every Black woman need to watch that, but every woman, period, needs to watch that.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, because they showed how you can overcome adversity, no matter what situation you're in, and how your natural God-given talent will put you through anything. And I was able to connect to that on so many levels because where I work, I won't say where, but the environment that, pays my bills, I have to go through stuff like
the
that.
environment that pays my bills.
Yeah, I mean, I just gotta keep it 100 with you. The environment that pays my bills, unfortunately, I have to go through stuff like that, being a young, Black, talented woman. And sometimes I am the subject of hate.
Wow.
Just because I am who I am. And it's not cool, especially when you don't walk around like I'm the shit, excuse my French, but I don't walk around like that. And for people to try to attack you, I saw that in that movie. And I was just like, wow, it's kind of sad that things like that still happen in 2017. And it was inspirational to see how they still carried themselves with grace throughout it, because I'm going to be honest, it was a few parts I was like, excuse me, like I'm thinking I'm hurting the movie and I'm like, excuse me, but I'm like, you know what, I'm glad I watched that, because I'm not saying bite your tongue in some situations, but sometimes every battle is not worth fighting.
Right.
And it's not worth going down to people's levels like that. So that was just one part of the movie. I mean, one big part that just really inspired me, why I feel like every woman needs to watch that, whether you're Black, Spanish, Asian, just how to get over adversity and let your talent push you through.
Yeah, and I totally feel you on that. And a good thing about that movie is I think they separated the racial injustice with the woman injustice. So like you said, anybody can relate to it because it wasn't just black woman. It was black, and then there was woman. So a lot of people could really relate to that. And in addition to that, I think that underlying story of perseverance as far as their goals were concerned. Yes. So like Taraji's character, she knew she was smart. She had some self-doubt issues, but she had those other two women that was right in her corner. So they were pushing her. And then, what is her name? Octavia Spencer's character. That woman, first of all, the woman was the lady from Bring It On. The white woman was, what's her name? Torrance from Bring It On. Yeah, so I couldn't get over the fact that
it was
Torrance from Bring It On. Right? So once I got out of that, watching how Octavia just pushed to accomplish her goal and to get through everything that was being thrown her way, I thought that was great. And then the great Janelle Monáe, who just slayed this entire role. Right. Like, she wanted to be an engineer, but she had to go back to school. There were no blacks or women in school at that particular college. And then her husband was even doubting her for a little bit. And so she pushed through it, and she was like, listen, this is what I'm going to do. You going to get with it. He eventually hopped on. And it was just great to just watch those characters just develop and show that if they can do that back then when they had way more things going on than now, we have no excuse at all.
And you know what? For Octavia's character, she was, so spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Hidden Figures, okay? But, sorry. But Octavia's character, so she wanted to be a supervisor. And they were working her like she was a supervisor, but they wouldn't pay her like that. And so she found ways to make herself needed, to make herself valuable. They were bringing in an IBM, and she went to the library, got a book, even though she got cussed out because she got it from the white section, to learn how to code this computer. And what I admire the most about what she did, not only did she take that knowledge to make her valuable, she trained her entire team. Because she could see that, well, once these computers came, they were all going to be out of a job. So she was selfless. And I find that action, more women need to be like that. Yes. Especially in 2017, especially the direction we're going in. More women need to see areas for growth and not only make yourself valuable, but make others valuable with you. It's enough for all of us to eat. Exactly. It really is. Like,
that's a really great point, because she could have easily just went about her business, did what she had to do for herself, but she made sure she took everybody with her and trained them. And not only did she didn't just try to, I guess, coddle them or throw them on her back. She trained them so that they can hold their own in their new position. So you're absolutely right. That's a really good point.
And then Janelle Monáe, oh my gosh. So first of all, Janelle, if you are listening to this, honestly, Janelle, Taraji, Octavia, y'all just slayed this entire movie. Yes. I just want to put that out there. But I love Janelle's character because she found a way to convince this judge who was racist and was just like, yeah, we're not having that. He said out his mouth, we are not basically abiding by the American law. Virginia, we ain't... what was it? We're going to say segregated. So it's like, for this guy to be so stubborn and stuck in his ways, and for her to do her research and basically convince him, it's just like, wow. If you put your mind to something, make it happen. Do your research. Make it happen. What's in it for them?
Yep. And I think that's a message for everybody that's listening. Like, that movie, especially for entrepreneurs, it has so many underlying messages that are bigger than the actual story. So if you guys have not seen it, I suggest that you go to the movies, take your mama, your sister, your cousin, your girlfriend, take everybody and go see this amazing movie.
Men can watch it too. I think it's an inspirational story for men as well too, but ladies, a must see, period.
Exactly. So we've neglected Milan enough for one day.
I'm jealous that I didn't get to see it, but
it's all good. So let's talk about Wale's new video.
I'm ready. Oh my God. I was waiting on my moment, y'all. Okay, I have to start the quote off. Let me get it up for you.
She's been waiting for this moment.
No, because
5 times to try to get this quote.
I did. He said, "My infinity is infinity, and I wish you everything that gives you energy." God,
Why was that so powerful?
it was just deep. Like the fact that you can wish somebody everything that gives them energy says a lot about you as a person, because so many people halter bad energy. So the fact that you can wish them everything, that just shows that you're such a positive person. And that's one reason why I love Wale. He's a poet. You never hear him really being negative in any of his songs and stuff. For all the ugly girls be quiet, but that's sometimes that's excusable. But other than that, like in his songs, when he's really trying to motivate women, he really deep goes down into that core. So that's just how I felt on it.
Yeah.
Tula, what you think about the video?
I thought the video was beautiful. Like, it was just so many beautiful women in it, and him praising Black girls and just telling us to keep shining. Like, you're beautiful how you are. Like, I thought it was just beautiful. I love stuff like that. Like, it just makes me glow, because I just love how our culture is just taking our culture back and embracing it.
Do it for the culture.
Yes, one time, 2 times. I love it. I love Wale. I've always been a Wale fan. I mean, he's from, our area. Like you said, he's very positive in his music. I used to listen to him while I'm studying and stuff. Like, I love Wale, and I wouldn't expect anything different from him.
Right. What I liked the most about the video was the diversity in the women that was in the video. So you had the natural with the short tapered fro. You had the long weave. You had the light skin, half her head shaved. You had the brown skin. You had the dark skin. He just had all the different flavors that represent Black women. And I thought that was dope. And it was necessary, because he couldn't have done that with just a bunch of light skinned women or something like that. He couldn't have done that. Right. So it was good that he showed such diversity. And then on top of that, in the video, the whole time they're having fun with each other, just having a good time. And a lot of times that angry Black woman stigma is always on us. And a lot of people think that women just never could get along. All they want to do is hate on each other or tear each other down and stuff like that. But he showed that we having a good time. He's celebrating us. Ain't nobody twerking on him or nothing like that. So I thought that it was cool. Everybody was natural. Everybody was beautiful. It wasn't no shade to, like, the Miracle Watts and the Delicious and all of those, women. See, I'm trying to be nice. No shade to them, but it was natural women whose bodies were real, just having a good time. So I thought that was a really great video.
What's the name of the video? I didn't even mention that.
It's called Black Gold.
Yeah, Black Gold.
Black Gold.
Black is gold.
Black is gold. Okay. So yeah, you guys, if you have not seen it, definitely go and check out Wale's new video. So, Tula, back to you.
Yes.
Since we have you on here, let's talk about you. Tell us your story. First of all, how'd you get the name?
Okay.
And then tell us the story of how you got started, when you knew that you were going to be an entrepreneur. Just give us everything.
Who is Tula?
Okay. That's a awesome question. Who is Tula? So, the name. Okay. The name comes from me and my college friends. We have issues. I'm just going to put that out there. I love my girls to death. So and I actually said I was going to wait to like tell this story on Oprah or something, but since she retired, it's okay.
She's going to hear this.
She's going to hear this one day. She really is. So Tula actually came from one day I was in school. I went to the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, Hawk Pride, catch it. Hey. Now hold up, pause. I just need to go on the record. I am a bull hawk. Okay.
What is that?
A bull hawk, because I went
You can't find that in the zoo.
No.
Napoleon Dynamite, a liger.
A liger.
She's a liger.
Listen, I went to the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, my freshman year through junior year. I transferred because they did not have my major, and it broke my heart, but I will forever bleed maroon and gray. But I am also a bulldog. Okay, I graduated from Bowie, therefore hawk dog. Okay, hawk dog. I am a hawk dog. But if you cut me, I will bleed maroon and gray. Ooh. I just gotta say. Okay. Yes, it runs deep. That's my school. It runs deep. But I love Bowie too. But back to the story. So I was watching Animal Planet, and it was the special on elephants, and I was just fascinated with it. They're so adorable. I mean, they're just interesting animals, and I was like, I want a baby elephant. Like, when I get rich, I'm gonna buy a baby elephant, and I'm gonna name her Tula. Aww. And then I actually saw, I don't even know where the name came from, it's so random, but I went to Forever 21, I think like within that week of seeing it, and I found an elephant ring, and I bought it, and I named her Tula. So that's where the Tula comes from, just real random. Now the Alfredo, okay, backstory. Me and my friends, we were an African tribe for about, let's just say maybe 2 semesters at school. It was a story that just kept running with each other. I was Princess Nyla Tunde. Yeah. And for my African friends, y'all already know, no offense. But we were like real live African. We came up with this whole story. And then one day we decided to be Spanish gangsters. And my name was Carlo Alfredo.
Going through a crisis.
Yeah, like it was our entertainment. The stories, we don't have enough time for that. But I was Carlo Alfredo, and then which isn't even a Spanish gangster name, but whatever. So when it was time to make a Twitter, that's when Twitter was popping, and I was like, oh, Tula Alfredo, and it just stuck, and everyone just called me Tula, hey Alfredo, and I was like, oh, I like that. I always wanted a nickname. So that's where Tula Alfredo comes from.
That is so funny.
It's so random.
So how did you, let's say, make that transition from your African tribe and your Spanish gangsterness and decide that you were going to start Tula Talks Entertainment?
So, okay. I've always wanted to be a pediatrician, actually. Up until high school. Then I got more into the arts. I always loved acting. When I was little, I used to watch all that and be like, how can I get into the TV screen? Because like I want to do that. That's So Raven. I used to, oh my gosh, I used to love. Yes. So I used to always want to act. Like acting is my first passion. I'm a thespian. I went through induction during high school. I did plays. But when I got to college, I was just lost. I was like, I don't know what I want to study. I didn't want to do medicine anymore. I almost signed up for a fashion program just because you could study at FIT. But I was like, that's not a good enough reason. So I did a career fair, and I saw that communications was like a good fit for me. So I switched to communications, and I would say what really got Tula Talks really going was after I did a pageant. My second pageant, I did Miss Maryland USA in 2017, I believe. And I didn't win. I placed third runner-up out of 94 girls, but I had my platform, sheIsLauren.com. And I'm like, you know what? This is an excellent opportunity for me to kind of take a stab at what I'm trying to do. And it was terrible. Oh my gosh. It was so bad. Like, I had a show, the question revolved around who are you? And oh man, it was bad. But then I really sat down and decided, okay, how do I really want to brand this? Do I want to be Lauren? Do I want to be Tula? Did some research, and I figured out I want to do Tula Alfredo. And it's like, what's my mission statement? Years later, to entertain and inspire.
Right.
It's simple. To bring back the balance in media by entertaining and inspiring. Something so simple took so long for me to grasp, and I was like frustrated with myself because it's like, I know what I want to do. I want to do it now. Why don't I have the answers?
Right.
And it was pissing me off that I didn't have the answers because I was about to graduate, and I'm like, what am I going to do?
Right.
But I would say after graduating, a year later, I made into an LLC. Thanks, Mike. He helped me out. We were on FaceTime for like half the day setting up everything. And honestly, it just organically happened, trial and error. And here we are today.
So I have a question. I want to go back to when you said that you did whoislauren.com, right?
sheIsLauren.com.
sheIsLauren.com. And you said that it was terrible.
Yes.
So what did you do differently when it came to Tula Talks Entertainment?
So what I did differently, some of the quality of work, and I'm still, to me, I'm a perfectionist, so it's still a long way I have to go. But gosh, where do I even start? So just how I was kind of going through things, not fully planning stuff out. Just, I have an idea, just running with it. I thought, you know, sometimes you have an idea and it's great in your head, but when you try to execute it, it doesn't come out right. And that happened a few times with sheIsLauren.com. Now, some stuff went really well. I did do some interviews that were pretty great, but I would just say the lack of planning and the lack of not knowing what you don't know type thing. But by the time I decided to do Tula Talks, I knew a lot more. So things went in a better direction for it.
That's good. And I want to point that out to everybody listening. Something that you would perceive as like a failure, in your situation, you actually use the lessons that you learned to better what you were going to do. So for all of you guys that feel like you have to have everything perfect before starting, I think the lesson in what you said is just go ahead and start and be okay with making those mistakes. Because you can always fix it. The lessons that come from it are intent, like they're priceless, the lessons that you get from it. So I think that was really powerful when you said that.
Absolutely. And to kind of go off what you just said, if you always wait for everything to be completely perfect,
you ain't gonna never start,
you
child.
are never going to start. So just do it. Be like Nike. Just do it.
Yes.
Exactly. So let's talk about your journey a little bit. How has it been for you thus far? You said that you have the place. What did you call it?
The environment that pays my bills.
Yes. So we know that you have an environment that pays your bills, and then you are. I don't like to call businesses a side hustle because I just think that downplays what it is.
Yeah.
So you have your business.
I have my other job. I have 2 jobs.
Oh.
You know, the job, Tula Talks is a job.
Exactly. So how do you balance that, and how has the journey been trying to get the hang of both of those?
Well, so I will say at first, after graduating and working full time, it took a while to kind of get a feel of everything because I had more stuff to do at work, and I went through a training program, which was very demanding and whew, I'm just thanking God I got through it. But it's a little bit, it's difficult. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. The line of work that I'm in, I'm on the computer interacting with people constantly, and I'm using a huge chunk of my brain all day. So when I clock out at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm mentally exhausted, but I have to still find energy to put into my company because ultimately this is where I see myself thriving in and making, you know, a living out of. So I really just had to start managing my stuff better, organizing. I have my planner. I have to write stuff down, you know, make time to call people back, make time to research stuff. And a lot of the nights I have to stay up and burn the midnight oil and just deal with Milan knows. Me and her, we're constantly on the phone. I think we hung up the other night. It was, oh my gosh.
It's like almost 10 o'clock after 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like I rode home with her.
Pretty much. And that was early. Like me and her, we stay up until like maybe 2:30, 3, knowing we got to get up in a few hours. But I would say just knowing how to balance and prioritize. And honestly, you have to be real with yourself too. And you can't attend to everything. I had to start saying no to people and activities, and it may rub some people the wrong way, but I just have to be honest with myself. Who comes first and what comes first? Right now, me and my business comes first. And if you can't understand where I'm trying to go, then that's not fair to me, and we, you know, might have to split ways with some things, but just activities and things like that in general. But it's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of trials and errors. It's a lot of things that I don't know. I still don't know. On the outside looking in, people may be saying, "Oh, like you're doing great," and I'm thank you. But little do you know, oh my gosh, I messed up that video, or it's not how I wanted it. It's just all a learning process, honestly.
So what keeps you motivated on those times where it gets really hard?
So what really keeps me motivated is my why. And when I say I want to bring back the balance in media by entertaining and inspiring, that's exactly what I mean. Too often, I was kind of annoyed with seeing the same stuff on TV. People talking about the same things, especially what's going on with our young men and just our people being killed. How is the media telling that narrative? Are they telling the truth? What's the other side of the story? Stuff like that makes me mad. You know, I've considered changing my career multiple times. Like, do I need to go into law? I'm a very hands-on person. If something is wrong, like, I will jump up and be like, what can I do to help? And that's what I constantly ask myself. What can I do to help what's going on? How can I truly change? Like, I'm not doing this just to be famous or to have my name everywhere. Like, I really want to create a body of work. If anything, it inspires other people to be that change. If I can inspire the next MLK, I've done my job.
Okay.
You know, so when I feel like I'm tired, well, no, what's your why? Like, honestly, I have a brother. You know, I'm Black. My fiance is Black. My kids are going to be Black. So what can I do to do my part to make sure that it's a better world for them? And I feel like by me using my talents through my company, it's a start. And it may not even be the answer, but I won't know unless I try.
Right. And I think that's another great point. You don't know unless you try.
Yeah,
so I definitely commend you for everything that you've done thus far, because we had a whole episode about this last week, balancing that environment that pays your bills. And your business is like so hard. We were even on what is it? I call it Insta Snap. What is it called?
That's what I call it too.
Okay, so me and Milan were even on Insta Snap at work having tangents on there because we're like, look, y'all, this is real. So Milan making a face right now. So my last question for you is, I know we talked about the hard stuff and the struggles, but what is something that you're most proud of about your business or your journey? It can be either one.
It's a lot of stuff I'm happy about. I would have to say I am most proud of, honestly, just the journey in general. I'm proud of my ability to push through things, and when things go wrong, to not beat myself up over it and take it as a learning moment, because it's not going to be the first time stuff goes wrong. And I just think throughout, by me being consistent with things and planting those seeds, things are starting to flourish. Like, within the past few days, I've gotten so much good news. My publicist has something to do with that too. You management, hey. But I've gotten a lot of good news. I mean, we've gotten our media kit together, my one sheet, and it's like, I feel like I have the ammo. Like, I am charged up right now.
Yeah.
Like, she sent me that stuff.
Yeah.
Can I give her one?
What you giving me? I know, seriously, like, I'm charged up because I feel like all the no's that I was giving, it's okay, because every no, that just means that's not the direction God wanted me to go. I originally wanted to take my platform and partner with an already established company. And when I'm meeting some of these people and they're saying, well, like, what's your numbers? What does your Instagram account look like? That kind of like annoyed me, because it's like, do you care more about the content or numbers? And I understand the importance of numbers. Trust me, I do, because I'm trying to get my numbers up as well, because you got to be in the race to play. But it was kind of like, you know what? Get your stuff together. You don't need another entity to make you who you are. Do it yourself, period. So I just think that all the no's and everything, and just me doing something and it not working, it's just putting me in a better position to just take off this year. Like, I'm claiming it. This is the year that Tula Talks Entertainment, you're going to see us places. If anything, you're going to know who Tula is. You're going to see us. You're going to like us and follow us. I'm just excited for everything. Like, I wouldn't change anything negative that has happened in the past, because it's happened for a reason.
That's awesome. We're definitely proud of you.
Thank you.
I am. And I know Milan is your publicist, so she's working to make sure you have more proud moments, but I'm definitely proud of you.
Thank you.
So let's take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to answer some questions.
Okay.
Hey guys, and we're back. Now we're about to answer some questions that you guys left on our Instagram page. So if you guys have a question and you want us to answer it on air, send us a DM at Black Girl Bosses on Instagram. Send us an email, blackgirlbosses@gmail.com. Send us a message on our website at www.blackgirlbosses.com, and we'll answer your questions.
All right, so we had a good amount of questions this week, which we are super excited about. So that means we can engage with you all a little bit more. Our first question says, tell us your story on becoming a Black girl boss. And, scratch that. You guys, listen, it's been a long day. It's my Founders Day. So if you knew what I went through from 11 to now, you kind of understand why I read Tula's question. Okay, anyway, so from connecting curl friends. Oh, that is cute. It's like girlfriends, but it's like curl friends. That is cute. Okay. Is it essential to have a mentor as an entrepreneur?
I think it is. Absolutely. And I have a few unofficial ones, but I feel like I need a official mentor because, like I said before, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And if you have a mentor, especially someone who's where you're trying to go, they can direct you, they can guide you. And I would say find a mentor who truly believes in what you're doing and wants to help.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think having a mentor in life is important because you don't have all the answers, and you're going to make some mistakes, but just having somebody you can run stuff past is like super important. But mind you, it's not going to make or break you as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
So don't think that if you don't have a mentor that you can't be successful, because that's not true. You can take wisdom from wherever. It's a quote that I really like. It says, a smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. So if you can study other people, I'm a book nerd, so I read all the time. So if you could learn from other people's mistakes, whether it be people from books or us or people that you listen to, they can be your mentors. It doesn't have to be somebody that you know. But yes, having a mentor is awesome, but it will not derail your success. What you think?
I agree. No, seriously, no, I definitely agree. As we stated in the last podcast, you can definitely admire people. You can definitely study people, but just don't try to make somebody's size 4 your size 2. Just keep that in mind. Stay true to what you're doing. Stay true to your brand and your focus, but definitely take the insight from others and listen. Don't be closed-minded. Definitely listen. You don't always have to take the route that they're going, or you don't always have to take what they're saying. But sometimes just listen, because it may give you something that you didn't know before. So just keep that in mind when you are seeking a mentor, or looking at others that may be in your certain career path.
Retweet. Don't try to be a size 4 when you a size 2.
Okay, so China CM, I want to do a giving service project and I want to connect and collab with other brands, but I am unsure how to approach them. Do you have tips or advice on how I should ask brands, small businesses, and etc.? You want me to repeat that? Okay, you want me to repeat that?
I would just say, just reach out to them, introduce yourself, let them know what you're doing, and just ask them exactly what you're trying to ask them. Just be direct. I will say that's something that I, in the past, have also struggled with, trying to figure out how to reach out to other people and to kind of get them involved with what I'm doing, because I know sometimes people want to shine and only them shine. But once again, all you can do is just reach out, and if they're that type of person that won't respond to you, then it's just not meant for you guys to work together, and that's okay. You actually want that. That's okay. If they don't respond, it's not meant to be. Don't force it. Move on, because the right person will respond.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I will also say, make sure you follow up. Don't just send somebody one email and think that if they don't respond to me in a week, then that's enough, because even there's like a statistics with sales that 80% of sales happen after like the 5th or 6th time you follow up with somebody. So that means you might be leaving money on the table if you're getting discouraged by them not responding to your email. And also follow up in different ways. I know something that I did when I was trying to get my program into after school, to become an after school program. I sent out emails, I called, I followed up with my email after I called. I showed up at the school. I showed up to PTA meetings. Like, you have to make yourself known and follow up in different ways. And also think about what everybody else is doing and then try to think outside the box, because it's easy to hide behind an email address. It's easy for some, it's easy to call. So just diversify how you reach out. And also follow up, because the money is in the follow up.
I like that.
The money is in the follow up, and we're all about the coins. So I definitely
quit these environments that pay our bills.
Right, these environments that pay our bills.
We're trying to quit these environments that pay our bills.
Just briefly, my only suggestion for that would be, and this is coming from a PR standpoint, if you are going to reach out, and then you've had tips from both of my colleagues now, but definitely if you're going to reach out to someone, know about their brand. You can't email them and say, hey, I want to collab with you. This is what I do, because not to be offensive to anyone, on the other end, they only care so much about what you do, and more so how you can benefit them and what you're going to bring to the table, because in their mind, they're the table. Yep. You're just trying to sit at it. So, definitely just think about your approach and definitely research them. So you have all of those tips now. I think you should go send that email after listening to this.
I definitely agree with that. You have to have that what's in it for me.
Yeah, it's a what's in it for me type of thing. How's it going to benefit both brands? But you are coming to someone. So if I was coming to Tula and I was seeking her to be a part of you management's team and saying, okay, I want to be your publicist, I need to know all about what Tula's been doing and how I can benefit and spread her brand further. Not, oh, well, I see that you have 20,000 YouTube subscribers or views, and, thinking that mindset. So you have to come prepared. So just be prepared.
I want to add one more thing to that, to what Milan said. One thing you should really take the time, I think everybody should do this, is understanding how people operate. Mm-hmm. People love, especially business people, love to have their ego stroked. So if you just sit here and just stroke their ego and tell them how great they are first, they're going to listen to you. Make them feel good. It's like if you were trying to get a guy and you flirting or whatever, like flirt with professionally, but flirt with them a little bit and make them feel good, make them feel like their brand is the best brand ever, and you will be ever so grateful if they gave you the opportunity of partnership. So that's how you kind of have to make them feel, but you have to word it in the correct way where you're able to still let them know the value in you as well. It's all about understanding how mofos work.
Well, we just lost any partnerships we may have. We just gave the tips and the traits away of how we send emails. So now people will look at our emails and be like, oh, so you're trying to swindle me. No, I'm just joking though, but it works though. But like I said, you have to know. So don't just send it you have to stroke their ego, but be knowledgeable, because they may come back with some hot fire, ask another question, and you'll be like,
you know what just came to mind? Mm-hmm. And I said this during your entrepreneur brunch. Mm-hmm. When I think this is so important, when networking, network with the intent to help.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Not with the intent of, well, what can you do for me type thing.
Right.
Like, oh, I see you have X amount of followers, let me hop on board. Network with the intent to truly help. If you can't help that brand, like genuinely help them, don't even do it.
Yeah, I agree. That was perfect. That was a perfect way to close out that question. Okay, so Saylicious. How do I turn /views into actual sales? And I think that's a great Tula question.
That is. That's something that I'm still working on. So to be completely honest with you, do some research. Now, I'm not a marketing expert. I'm actually in the midst of writing my business plan so I can turn likes and views into sales. So right now I'm currently researching. Research. Mm-hmm. If marketing is not your area of expertise, get some marketing books. There is a lot of, I have a degree. There are a lot of resources available for a question like that. Personally, I look at different YouTubers who are successful, and I look at some of the stuff that they do, some of the products they put out, how are they marketing it, and I just take notes to see what's working and what's not working. And if it's something you're serious about, and I mean, you may want to find a company that can help you get a plan together to actually turn that, those likes and views into money.
Yeah, I would say really understand why people buy. People buy from people that they know, that they like, and that they trust. So then in order for you to turn these likes into sales, you have to brand yourself as someone who's knowledgeable, someone who's trustworthy, and someone that they feel comfortable buying from. So I think the first step is to make sure that your brand is all about, I guess the best way to put it is to make yourself a thought leader in whatever your industry is. So, and you have to give more value than you're actually selling. So you should be selling 80% of the time. You should be giving away value 80% of the time for free, and then you sell that last 20%. So people feel they get all of this stuff from you. Now they know you, now they like you, now they trust you, like I said. So then when you sell them something, it's easier because they already know what you have is of value. So with the free stuff that you do put out, make sure it's as good as it is if you were to be selling it. So that way, when you do end up selling something, people have no problem buying from you. But it's all about making sure that you brand yourself as the expert in your industry. Make sure that you got your shit together and make sure that people are able to know you, like you, and trust you. That's the major key out of my point today. Make sure they know you, like you, trust you.
Ding! That was a major key sound. I just made that up. But yeah, as Tatum and Tula both said, in short, accountability and credibility. Yeah, is how you will turn those likes/views into sales. So I couldn't agree more. Next is Miss Zuri Lynn. When do you take that leap of faith?
That's a great question. Ooh. So
I gotta answer when you're ready.
Because so I feel like I don't even know how to answer that, because you just do it. It's just something comes over you, and it's just like you know, or you think you know what it is you're supposed to do, but in order for you to really find out, like, you just have to do it. And I think depending on what your leap of faith is, like if you're like, I'm going to quit my job and go toward, do this, well, yeah, you can take a leap of faith, but you also have to be realistic. If you know you have bills, like regularly occurring bills, and you don't have anything to pay your bills, I wouldn't recommend taking a leap of faith. Like, you got to be smart when you take a leap of faith as well. But I mean, just do it. Like, for me personally, I've just been doing it, and I feel like my huge leap of faith hasn't happened yet. I'm not going to say I have faith, but by me taking a huge leap, like quitting my job or something like that, I haven't done it yet. Hopefully no one will listen for my job. But I mean, honestly, I plan on taking that huge leap once I think about what the risks are, if you want to say. So just take leaps of faith, but do it. Be smart about it.
Yeah, being smart is like extremely important.
Very.
But I'm gonna take it as you're asking, when do you leave your job? So with me, the business coaching program I just finished was all about how to replace your 9-to-5 income with the income from your business.
Let me take notes.
So what I took away from that program, because I already told y'all before, I'm leaving my job this year. It's really no if, ands, or buts about that. But a very practical tip is you need to get the number of what it takes for you to live. Like, how much money do you need to live comfortably? So I actually did that this week. Figured out, okay, how much do I need? Where can I cut back on expenses that I don't necessarily need? Should I move back home for a little bit so that I could have, so I don't have to live on as much money in order to leave my job. So think about that. How much money do you need in order to live? So that's your first number. The second number is, how much does your business cost to operate? How much does all of those web hostings, any software that you use, your equipment, your computer, like your phone bill, if you use your phone line for your business a lot, how much is all of that? Now you add those two numbers together. That's a magic number that you need to make. And I would add some money onto that just in case something happens. And then that's the number that you need to keep to the forefront of your mind at all times. Mm-hmm. Then you need to go back to your business and figure out, is what I'm doing enough to create that income? And then you have to figure out, okay, if that's not enough, then let me figure out what other revenue streams I could add into my business that'll help me get that number. So for myself, I know that I need 4 clients for my program that's launching in the spring in order to quit my job. So that means right now, before this program launches, I'm doing everything that I can. Number 4 is on my mind all day, because all I need is 4 people in order to put in my 2 weeks. So that's something that you should do as well. And that's going to provide that extra motivation for you to actually keep working, because it's right there. You could taste it. You could feel it. You know what you need to do. So those are my practical tips. Whew.
Yes. And I reviewed Tatum's program that she's talking about. So, ladies, listen, and gentlemen, if you're listening too, get in that program. You might get more than 4 clients. Listen, I'm thinking about becoming a client, okay? But when you take that leap of faith, honestly, when the Lord tells you to, He is going to show you. And I spoke on this several times in our podcast since we started. You have to keep your faith in Him, because He is going to show you exactly when. I read something to Tatum, and I feel like this is for you. And it was talking about this year. If you're still comfortable, if you're still doing the same thing you were doing last year, that means you're still comfortable, which means you need to take that leap of faith and move on. And I read that because it was so crazy, because Tatum and I have had discussions in so many months of last year about taking that leap of faith. And it happens the first day of this year that Sprinkle of Jesus app put that as the first quote of the year. So that was one of those moments where you say, I hear you. You have to listen. If you ignore it, then I don't know what to tell you, but you have to. He is the ultimate business partner. So you have to pay attention to where He's directing you, because He will not steer you wrong unless you if you ignore it, then, you're kind of left to try to figure that out on your own. But He's going to show you, He's going to guide you. So you have to keep that faith in Him and trust in what you're doing, and understand that you're here for a reason. He didn't put you here just because it was an accident. You're here for a purpose. So moving on to our last and final question by Exquisite Beauty. I had to say that because I'm a part of the Exquisite Ada chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. But Exquisite Beauty says, how did you figure out which business was the right business to start? Oh, we spoke on that last week with Shonda Rhimes, what she said. Okay, great question, Miss Tula. You got to answer her?
Once again, I just asked myself, what's your passion? Mm-hmm. What is it that you want to do? And organically, it just happened. I thought I wanted something smaller, but when I went to actually make myself a legit company, I was advised, well, you should probably be an LLC. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? And the direction I see myself going in, it was like, well, it just made sense. And once again, I don't know if this is the answer to everything, but I'm going to find out. Mm-hmm. I have my one sheet in my media kit. So I'm like, I got the ammo. I'm going to be hitting people's DMs and inboxes and phone calls. And I'm like, if this don't work, then maybe I'm supposed to go in another direction. Mm-hmm. And like Milan said, you have to listen to God. And I think that's why I feel like I haven't fully taken that leap of faith, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been comfortable since I've graduated. I've been blessed to have a job that's related to my career. I've been blessed to be able to financially support myself, and I think that's my comfort. I have not taken that leap because I don't have a replacement for that check. And I'm just down. I'm just riding a wave and just staying ready.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, especially what you just said, is your passion. You have to figure out what your purpose is. Because if whatever you're doing is solely based on the money, you will not last, because it's too hard for money to be your only motivation. You can work a job and get money, but you have to figure out what your purpose is, because that's what's going to keep you motivated throughout the course. So if you have options, as far as what business you want to start, you have a bunch of ideas, start with whatever you're the most passionate about. And what would you do for free? Because you're going to have to do it for free for a little bit. So definitely, what would you do for free? And start there. And also know it's okay if you fail. Like if you do the business and the business isn't necessarily successful, or that's not the right path, it's okay if you go to a different business, or if you decide to do a new venture. So find your passion, girl.
Yeah, definitely. You can't be afraid of trial and error either. That's the biggest way to figure out what's for you. Trying different things out. You may fail, and don't take it as a loss. Take it as, okay, let me figure out what could work. So that's another way to find out your business. I thought entering undergrad, I was supposed to be a psychology major. What? Like, I was so into, I'm weird, guys. I was like, schizophrenia, this. But then when I realized it was a lot more than that, and I was like, no. But then I got into things that I did like, and it was pulling me in different directions, and it came to the point where I wanted to do it all the time, and it was something that I thought about, and I would see people doing it. Olivia Pope, for example, the TV show, yes, but in real life, Olivia Pope, I saw her doing it, and then I saw other PR professionals and hearing different stories. So that's how I came about knowing what was right for me. So do your research, as Tula said before. So research.
I have a funny question. Somebody texted me recently.
Go ahead.
So someone sent me a text message. I didn't include it in the questions that we just said, but they were like, with us talking about our 9-to-5 so much, are we afraid of somebody hearing and let's say losing our job? I said, what? No.
I can answer that. No shade, no disrespect, but honestly, no. Like I said before, I'm very grateful for having a job, but I think it's pretty clear that I'm not going to be there that long, just because of the nature of the work and just my personality. It's not my passion. And like you said before, if money is not a good motivator, not at all, because I honestly, and if someone does hear that, well then, and I get fired, it's just meant to be. But I would quit my job and go work somewhere else that meant something. Like if I was offered the opportunity to do something that would actually tangibly change something, I would do it in a heartbeat without even thinking about it, because I would feel like I'm putting my talents to use versus wasting my talents just to get X amount of dollars. Like I don't feel like I make a certain amount. I feel like I'm selling myself for a certain amount. And when you start to feel that way at a job, oh my goodness, it is time to get out ASAP.
No, I totally agree. And I'm saying, we're entrepreneurs. If you push us off a bridge, we're going to build a parachute on the way down.
Basically.
So if they get fired, Kat, like, all right, I can't leave this 9-to-5 to my children. You think I care if y'all fire me? I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great question. That was a great question.
I knew I didn't include it, but I had to bring that up. So let's take one more break, and then we're going to come back and celebrate some wins of the week. Okay, guys, we're back with the wins of the week. So for y'all that don't know, we like to celebrate everybody's wins, ours and yours. So if you had a great week or something great happened, it can be as small as I woke up on time today. It does not matter. We want to celebrate you as well. So y'all know what to do. Send us a DM or a comment on Instagram at Black Girl Bosses. Send us an email at blackgirlbosses@gmail.com. Send us a message on our website at www.blackgirlbosses.com. So our first win comes from @FramePoint Collective. She said that she finished an ad campaign for her client, and she's also in the process of booking another client. Congrats, girl. So next we have at Maisha Salim. She created a new stream of income this week, yes, and improved another stream to free up more time to make more money and spend more time with her daughter. I know that's right, girl. Make your money and spend time with your family. That's what it's all about. Next, we have at Ivy Locks Books. She created a book club event this week and already has half of the spots filled. So I said I'm a bookworm, so, I mean, you ain't telling me about your book club, but that's cool. Send us a DM. I mean, I would love to learn more. So at Mars Enterprise LLC, which is one of Milan's clients, she said filing her tax returns all by herself. Yes. I'm only scared of two people, God and the IRS. So I know that's right, girl. I have an accountant because I don't even want to start with what the tax stuff, but shout out to you for being able to do all of that by yourself. So, Tula, it's your turn. What are your wins this week?
Woo, all right. So, like I said, a lot of great things have been happening. Can I start by last week?
Of course.
Because it was like a major deal. So I was able to attend and cover for Tula Talks Entertainment the President's Armed Forces Farewell Ceremony. And also this week, I applied for a media credential for New York Fashion Week, but they liked my stuff so much they offered me to be, I guess, like a live stream host for the fashion show. So I'm like, and I gotta say thank you so much to Milan and you management for setting up that New York Fashion Week because, man, like, let me tell you about that story. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
She was like, she was supporting, another PR. I'm like, oh, that's tight. Y'all got space for more media slide, right? Like, she's like, well, it's going to be like 30 something people. You're going to have to fight your way. I was like, that's fine. I'll fight. She was
Loved it.
Okay. She gets her phone. And then she's like, okay, send her over an email. I sent it. The next day I get a call. I'm at work. I'm like, hey. And she's like, she loved your stuff. She's about to call you in like 20, 30 minutes. I was like, for real? She's like, yeah. Woo! I'm just excited. I'm going to meet with them. Well, when you guys hear it Monday, I would have already met with them in person. So on the 31st of January, make sure you guys pay attention to my Instagram. I'll post more info about it.
What's your Instagram?
So my personal one is Tula Alfredo, and the company's is Tula Talks ENT, and it's the same on Twitter.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have to chime in for 2 seconds before my lovely Tatum goes on. Miss Tula Alfredo got engaged, guys, and that's a win. That wasn't a week win. That was a year win, a life win. So hold on, let me give that to her and Mr. Douglas McNeil III. So they're
yeah. Let me tell y'all, that video is up on YouTube. We're actually the engagement story is going to be up as well. We commentated. It's freaking hilarious. Like, I'm just. Oh my gosh, I'm just so in love and just so happy right now. Like, It was such a surprise. Like, I'm waiting to get my ring back. I had to send it to Zales to get fitted, and I'm like, I'm like heartbroken, just waiting. Like,
just tie a piece of string around there for the meantime.
Girl.
That's awesome. Congratulations to you guys. He's in the studio, y'all, just so y'all know. He's chilling. Yes, he's chilling. So she got her support system here. That's awesome.
I'm waiting
supporting
for him to go,
that.
yes.
That's awesome. So my wins for this week, let me tell you the story about mine. So my job pissed me off this week, y'all. Like, I was supposed to go, it's National Mentoring Week. So for y'all that don't know, the Queen Academy is a mentoring program for girls. So I was supposed to go to the school for about 2 days. So I went one day, my job called and was like, I had to come to work the next day for whatever reason. So I'm pissed. Like, I cannot believe I have to cancel this. And I'm strict on my job will never, ever come in the way of my business. But this was something, we had a deadline, so I had to suck it up. So while I was at work, I've been working on my website. I was talking to you guys about it. in the last couple episodes. While I was at work, I said, all right, I have to make a good use of this day since they won't let me go and do what I love. So I launched my website while I was at work. I finished it and I launched it. So the website is up. It's www.tatumtemia.com. Go ahead. Okay, so yes, the website is up, and the website will be everything revolving around what I do. So lots of inspirational videos. I will be doing after shows for the podcast, so look out for those. It's lots of free giveaways for people who are interested in starting a business and don't know where to start. So for all of you guys that's listening, definitely check out my website. You're going to love it. And my coaching program launches in the spring. So look out for that. The second part to that is I haven't even really opened up my calendar for calls about my coaching program, but someone reached out to me via email. And so I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and talk to her and see what's up. So I had my first discovery call, which is where I talk to people and figure out what exactly their goals are with their businesses and figure out if my program is a good fit for them. So I had my first discovery call on Friday, which was great. Okay, which was great. And so I'm looking forward to doing a strategy session with her. So we'll sit down for about an hour or so and really lay out how I can help her accomplish her business goals. So I'm super duper excited about that. And there's a lot more that's going to come from that. She always mess up the volume when it comes to me. No, we got to do this again.
I'm going to do it again. Hold on. I don't know why I say
Is it on speaker?
There we go.
So what happens, guys, on the iPhone, I'm not sure if you know with the memos, when you say something, you have to hit speaker every time. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of crazy. It blows me. But yes. This is Black Girl Magic in here. It's like, yes.
It really
I'm in love with it. It motivates me, guys. Like, it really does. And I hope that it motivates you as well to, continue to go get your wins within the weeks that you have, because we got a lot of weeks in a year. So.
And it's only the second week, isn't it?
It doesn't feel like it's like the ninth week. Like,
that's because we doing stuff.
Yeah, when you're busy, it's like you don't pay attention to it. Okay, Tatum, that was your win? That was girl, look, notes is good. I gotta try to top these. Look, got engaged, mentoring, discovery call. Okay, look, let me get this together. Let me look at mine. Okay, so this week I gained 2 new clients in the same day.
Yes, give it to yourself.
Right? Yes.
Okay, so I gained 2 new clients in the same day, and I never count clients until I get the contract back. So once the contract is back, that means you are an official client. So shout out to Trey Smith, who is the brother of Ryan Smith, who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So shout out to Trey, and shout out to Connie. Connie is a Baltimore native. He graduated from Virginia State University, and he's popping. He's a poet. If you look him up on YouTube, it's Kanawande Fidel, and he's put out so many spoken word pieces. He actually did a piece for Baltimore. I can't remember the hashtag exactly from the top of my head, but I had seen it from Avery, which was one of Tula's videographers, way back like in early 2016 into 2015. I'm like, oh, this is great. And look where we're at now. That's my client. So that's exciting. It was confirmed on Friday that I will be officially assisting the Mia Bell agency from February 9th to February 12th with New York Fashion Week. So I'll be assisting another PR agency. I will still be in new management mode and still a publicist, but I'm assisting, which is amazing. And it goes back to having a mentor. I definitely look up to Mia. She's older than me. She's my soror. She's been doing this for a few years now, more than I have. So that's an honor for myself. So let me crank that up for Mia. It's okay, guys. See, I told you, it's that memo thing. You got to catch it. I also finished my 2016-2017 books to file taxes. So I didn't do what Mars did and file their own taxes, but finishing your own books is definitely a lot from January to January. So I had to go through Navy Federal's information, Eventbrite, PayPal.
See, that's why I gotta count them. I can't.
Yes, I had to pull all of those together to get that done. We've sold 90% of the early bird tickets for the Entrepreneurs Brunch. Yeah, so the Entrepreneurs Brunch, and the ticket sales actually for that end on Monday. So the know that we're still 90%, which means if you're planning on getting your ticket, they are very limited. And not Monday as in when you're listening to the podcast Monday, but Monday as in the 23rd. So make sure you get them because the general admissions prices and the VIP prices will be coming out. And lastly, I will be a panelist at the PG National Mentoring Program celebration that they have every year. So I'm super excited about that. I was reached out to from one of the Bowie students who's on the panel, and she said, I think this would be a great opportunity for you. And I was like, sure, why not? So yeah, I'll definitely be taking that on in that next weekend. So wish me luck, guys.
Good luck. Yes, that's awesome. Congratulations on everybody's successes this week. I'm so happy for you guys. So, you guys, that's it for episode 3 of the Black Girl Bosses podcast. Make sure that you subscribe on iTunes and SoundCloud. We're really, really, really close to 1,000 streams, and we're really, really, really close to 1,000 downloads, which means almost 1,000 people are getting notifications on Mondays about this podcast. So that's awesome. So thank you guys so much for all of your support of the podcast. Visit us on the web at www.blackgirlbosses.com. Follow us on Instagram at blackgirlbosses. We are very interactive on our Instagram. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for listening.
And I just want to put a plug in for you guys. So you can find all our content on tulatalks.com. Make sure you guys subscribe to us on YouTube at Tula Talks ENT. We're on Instagram and Twitter at Tula Talks ENT. And if you want to follow me, Tula Alfredo, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well at Tula Alfredo.